don't have a time, just a date.
Okay. We also have a couple of things to mention here. Tuesday, October 25th from 5 to 9 is the food truck fiesta at Bloomington Fire Department. I did attend the last one they had. It was great.
Good food?
Good food. And
That'll
good
be the
turnout.
last one until springtime.
And I guess they're doing
Nice
it
turnout.
once a month in the good weather. And we'll get to the other stuff as we go, so. Minutes of last month's meetings. Just a couple of small changes, Nandy. On both September 7th and September 14th, we have Amber Kelly as Environmental Commission Chair. We need to change that to Economic Development.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. And
My only comment on the minutes would be in the public comment period that Morka and others commented on the dust. I don't, it's a little bit loose format, so I don't know if we quite got all the names, but maybe just by adding
that's a Alexis.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
our first minute.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
You could say Councilwoman Masco. There are two.
Oh.
Random councilwoman.
This one is if I want something else, and that's what I did. Must not have been important. All right. Oh, Jill's last name. So I went on.
I have a personnel.
Okay. And I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second that?
Robo, Councilman Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Master.
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski.
Abstain? Since I missed one or two? Yes,
Okay.
I'll just abstain.
Councilwoman LaFari.
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. And Councilman Rosendale, would you like to start with the committee report, please?
Sure. For the Chamber of Commerce, the Pickle Festival is coming up, which we're going to hear about soon enough. They can still use and gratefully receive volunteers before the event as well as on the day of the event. And the URL is rosendalechamber.org, and the email address would be rosendalechambermarketing, all one very long word, @gmail.com. For the Environmental Commission, I'm actually going to leave the one off my phone because it was too long to take notes on. They asked me to share that coming up Monday, October 24th, Ulster County Environmental Management Council and the Ulster County Climate Smart Committee will be hosting a workshop on significant programs which municipalities can use to support clean energy and climate resiliency efforts, including NYSERDA's new Clean Energy Community Program and New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Climate Smart Communities Program. Workshop will be at SUNY Ulster Student Lounge, located in Vanderlyn Hall on the Stonehenge campus. If somebody wants to get a time, ask me later because I've got to open an attachment which is taking too long. Otherwise, the Environmental Commission is looking into the Trees for Tribs grant program in order to get and plant trees that would prevent erosion along the stream at the southwestern edge of the rec center property. This would be a very visible public education program as well as very helpful in terms of our resiliency with flooding and obvious resiliency for the streamline. The commission has also begun running informational ads at the Rosendale Theater for supporting the MS4, municipal separate.
Stormwater sewer separation.
What Billy said.
MS4.
There had been a plan to do some citizen science during Creek Week. The event was canceled, but they still did it. Some of the committee members still did wave sampling in the Rondout Creek near Snyder Ave as a training opportunity, and reported that they found stonefly and wood nymph, among others, which are indicating a fairly healthy stream. They also found they're waiting for the final and the results, but they found these are the most desirables, meaning the stream's healthy, and they said they found at least one or two least desirables, meaning there's some pollution. But we didn't have a final word back from the lab on that yet. Commission is also looking into creating an overlay for the NRI maps to show the parcels that would be affected by the Pilgrim pipeline. And Sharon and Laura will be sharing duty attending the planning board meetings, which was just an effort for everybody to get to know one another and be more aware of what they're doing. For town court, you'll hear about the JCAP grant tonight, but in short, we're applying for a grant to continue improving office space, storage, official seals for outgoing communications, and working on the entry, more secure entry for prisoners that are coming to court. In terms of the books, I was able to review. Okay, I reviewed the books in August, but I missed them, or in September for August, but I missed the meeting. So this is same results for both the August books and the September books for both Justices Pape and Hornbeck. I reviewed the cash receipts book, the comptroller's report, fines receipt book, fines bank statement, the bail receipt book, the bail bank statement, and the check registry, and found everything to be in order. Let's see, transfer station. I just need to find again my report from the transfer station. I can come back to that if
I saw it in your hand
yeah.
earlier.
Meanwhile, I can report that they do have a nice new set of movable stairs at the transfer station to access the new and taller paper recycling bin.
How high from the platform is do you have to elevate your bucket? At the
Like
height?
chest height. I forgot to ask if there was a new
That was for the newspaper, wasn't it? That's what
paper.
for
Yeah,
paper,
yeah.
that's for
Yeah.
paper,
Mail.
not for,
Right.
for that and stuff.
Yeah.
This place, my.
Okay, we can go back to it if you find it. Otherwise, you can do it next month.
Thanks.
Sorry. So the clerk's monthly report, reports the general fund was $6,389.30. Total disbursement for $8,495. And that is totaling from the notary, dog licenses, permits for building, and other permits. The dog redemption and kennel brought in $180. The building permits were $3,766. Dog licenses, there were 40 dog licenses. $204, and other revenue coming in. The financial report
report for the highway department was $50 for 2 street reports. The zoning board, revenue for the month was $134.17 for use variance reimbursement and use variance application. The zoning board met Tuesday, September 20th, and they were still reviewing the property on the berm that's owned by Rosendale Realty Corporation, and that has at this point been referred to the Army Corps of Engineers for review for the survey on that property.
Is that something that was already built?
That was a structure that was built, it was a shed that was converted into a dwelling without any permits whatsoever. So it's been in review by the zoning board for a few months now. And submitted by David Lardy back in July 25th with this new survey to the previous survey, so they're really going through it very carefully to see discrepancy and what to do in terms of water and electric. So I don't see any, there wasn't really anything yet. I think the biggest concern was the way that the water was run to it, that I know that Terry was still very interested in looking into exactly how that was being handled. Smile nicely, although, you know, it's a pretty serious matter if it's not being handled properly. Yeah, so that's a big topic over there. And the Economic Development Commission did not have a meeting this month. Do you have any updates in terms of the grant, or that just
Not here in November.
okay? Well, that would be awesome. Sure you did an awesome job. And so I don't have updates from Terry from Water and Sewer, except that there's another meeting October 26th, and I know he's very, very busy. So, and that everything is still moving along as far as preparing for the type of meeting.
The building department, as we just witnessed, Inspector Tom Fiore retired after 13 plus years, so he is going to be on a part-time basis in almost a consulting role and filling in as needed. Meanwhile, last week we moved to accept the resignation of Eric Hines as code enforcement officer. He's stepping out next Friday, October 21st. And we moved to hire Joe Pozwinski as code enforcement for 20 hours per week. And the long and short is that the building department, which includes code enforcement, is in a state of flux. We're you know, tweaking as we go to get a full department in place. Eric's resignation was a little bit of a surprise, so we're making adjustments. Nick Wozen is the new building inspector. He's been in for almost 2 months, I think. And he's taken to the job really well. He's dedicated, assiduous, and focused, and into it. The building department took in $3,501 in September, issuing 16 building permits. Rosendale Water and Sewer took in revenue of $4,512.94 in September. Water was $2,659.94. Sewer was $1,853. The water main work is proceeding well. The main trunk line is run, tested, retested, passed, complete, and now they've been running the lateral lines to the curb cocks, as they're called, the individual service connections from the main trunk to the curb valves, and then a few of the service lines from the curb cocks to the dwelling or residence or whatever the building might be. Some of those have needed replacement here and there, but not many.
No surprises.
Right, but the only hiccup in this phase where they're running the laterals are now run from Gator Avenue all the way to post office. So up to about 350 or so Main, around there. So today they work late and finish right up to the edge of the post office. There has been, in that lateral work, there's been a little bit of nicking of service pipes and breaking and some leaks. That was, whereas the trunk line, the big work, there were very few leaks, interruptions in that work. But in the lateral work, there are little ones. So that gets the team that's doing the water main job, American Construction, they have the technicians, the plumbers there to do the repairs as they go. But Terry and the water department still has to be involved. So that's got occupied a fair amount of their time to assess the damage and make sure he's got an eye on it, whether he's in the trench doing some of the work or not. He has to be there for that. And our engineer with Department of Justice, Don C, is there every day. You can see him sitting on the porch like a kid on a stoop on Main Street, just overseeing all the work with great dedication. So it's pretty good, smooth running project to watch from my angle anyway.
Do they feel like they're on schedule?
Yeah, way ahead of
Way
schedule.
ahead of schedule, but they're being conservative about announcing that. There's still work to do, after all the laterals are
And you
run.
can't predict as you're going
Right.
along. Right.
Sidewalk work to do.
So to do the two side streets and some
Right.
fire hydrants have to be replaced. So it's a little bit of tricky stuff.
It's great that it's been receiving that too.
Right. Okay, planning is actually quiet. I had reviewed our September
Vacation for you.
meeting in September, our September meeting, because the planning board meeting preceded our September meeting. There's a meeting here tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the planning board in this room, and all that's on the agenda is the 292/294 Main Street project, which has been under review for a while. Slight change in that property proposed. And then the other is the storage of portable toilets facility, which would be on the lot adjacent to Ligon Insurance, where Arkansas Tom has his thingy there, between, about the Arkansas Tom?
Between Tom and the storage sheds.
Between Tom and the storage shed is enough parcel there to potentially or possibly or propose create some kind of storage facility for portalets.
Empties.
Empty, no odor whatsoever, right? So you can come to the planning board meeting tomorrow night if you want. I forget what company.
TLK, it's a new company.
Okay.
And the bookkeeping, I did a review this month, and everything is in order as we expected. And it's a very busy department. They're working hard and working late. Donna Fong is the newer person. Every time I go there, it's very, she's got a lot of work.
Under pressure.
They have a lot of work.
To get the work done.
So, looking forward to next month, really, now that she's been there for a while, really seeing how the clock is running there, how things are going. So,
Me too.
that's about it for me.
Board Metzger?
Okay, the Recreation Commission at its meeting had a presentation from Billy Ligon about the upcoming Pickle Festival, and they'll be reviewing that site plan, making a recommendation. at their next meeting. There was also just, updates on Rosendale Runs. That was right before that event. It was a great success, I understand. I was actually up volunteering at a trail part and never got down to the end, finished at the rec center, so, but, do we have a
I
total?
went the other way.
They
I
had
was in the parking lot and never got out of the rec center.
But they had predicted around 350 runners in the event.
I believe they had,
400.
yeah, I think they had like 370 or something like that.
That's great. It was really exciting and so wonderful to watch these half marathon runners. It's like, that's an extraordinary challenge to run that far and all ages, it was really great. So, and just thank you to the Mary Alroy and Christina Carr and everyone that worked at Free and everyone else that volunteered to put that event together. It was really great.
Well, obviously all ages, because we were hearing them about the awards. It was everything from preteens to, I think, 70 to 79 was the top.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People in every category.
Yeah, it was nice and cool. It was nice. There was also discussion of the Environmental Commission's proposal for the tree planting that you mentioned earlier, Chris, and they're looking forward to hearing more about it from the commission. Tara reviewed infrastructure needs, repair needs. None of these are surprises. The tennis court, they're looking forward to resurfacing both courts. The fencing around the ball field. Refurbishing basketball courts. That's a good list right there. So, and I let them know about the consolidated funding application that comes around in July. Let's see, what else? That's pretty much it. There was a wrap up on the pool. I gave a report on that last month. The Youth Commission, I was actually unable to attend because of the holidays, but I did read the minutes and just want to announce some upcoming programs. The youth programs have a lot of great new offerings. They've started this school days off vacation days program, where they're taking on school vacation days, taking kids on various field trips. They went on Columbus Day. They went skating. Matt Herfusky took a group skating. They had a lot of fun. This past today, right? That was today. Before they went up to Minnewaska. He took a group up to Minnewaska for a tree to learn about trees. They have a trip planned. They have a hike actually on October 16th, beginning at 10 a.m. up Joffenberg Mountain. Any kids be interested, please they have them call the youth office. And an October 20th field trip to the planetarium. And on the 29th, from 1 to 4 p.m., they're having a big Halloween party. There's going to be a lot of activities going on under the pavilion and games. They're going to have a haunted house again. They did that last year. It was a lot of fun. So I encourage you to bring the kids. And that's about it for youth. We still have 4 dogs in our town kennel in need of homes. 4 lovely dogs, a hound named Blackie, a mix named Lady, a pit bull named King, and another female mixed newer dog to the kennel named Sandy. And you can visit them up at the transfer station, and if you know of anyone who would like to take in a dog, please let them know about our dogs.
As an owner of a hound, I would just want to specify Blackie's like a lab hound mix. Much more manageable than a straight ahead hound. And adorable.
Thanks for the plug. Financial reports, the rec commission took in a total of $2,287.74. The youth program took in $522.74, and that includes $212.74 from St. Pauli's, from the clothing donations. Nothing from the assessor. Job control took in $206. Police, Lynn has been out, so we'll do the financial report next month. And that's it.
Thank you. And for the accounts, capital reserve sewer, $42.83. Capital reserve, $243.31. Capital reserve highway, $1,341.36. Capital reserve rec, $792.39. Capital reserve water, $8,629.52. Cemetery fund, $420.26. General fund, $653,739.81. Highway fund, $408,590.28. Lake District, $11,887.91. New York Rising grant is at zero because it comes in and goes out. Playground fund, $99.66. Pool checking account, $288,559.43. Recreation subdivision, $6,423.30. Sewer fund, $81,134.31. Schwangong fund, $4,060. Solar account, $17,225. Trust and agency, $17,853.73. Water fund, $45,108.85. Youth fund, $9,794.43. Did you want to go back and do yours?
When I grabbed the agendas, I left it in the bottom.
Ah, there it is.
So back to the transfer station, the September financials. They saw in September 27.63 tons come through. After covering expenses to Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency, we still took in $1,812.70. And 7 cents.
That's not the amount you brought in, though.
No, the amount brought in was 6,000.
Yeah.
The expenses to Ulster County Resource Recovery are $3,843.93. So after deducting that, almost 2,000. And I contacted the municipal center, but I don't have a report for that facility.
Okay.
Thanks.
He had a few emergencies, so he's out now for a while.
To order business there.
Just about the Rosendale runs, just John reminded me that that our police department had escorted the runners and gotten them safely across the roads of the events. So we want to thank you for your help with that.
So I'd like let's approve the 2 youth workers. We're gonna, Matt McCluskey has recommended Nicholas Palmieri, and who is already working as a temporary employee. He was a youth worker of Rec Aid over the summer, and Matt would like to keep him on. And the other employee is Christina how do you say that? Personius, thank you. And we also have a recommendation letter from him for her. So I'd like to make a make a motion to hire Nicholas Palmieri as youth worker for no more than 20 hours a week at $9 per hour.
Second that?
Roll call, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilman McCartney.
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. And a motion to hire Christina
Rosendale.
Personas as youth worker for no more than 20 hours a week at $9 per hour.
I'll second that one too.
Roll call, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilman McCartney.
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. And we have a resignation from Joseph Stenta from the police department. He's getting a job in another police department, Poughkeepsie, and will accepting that full-time position. He will no longer be able to work for Rosendale. So with regrets, I make a motion to accept the resignation of Joseph Stenta effective 10/16/16.
I'll second that with regret, and I'd like to thank him for his service.
Roll call, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilman McCartney.
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. And Chief Soul is here. You'd like to make a presentation for some new hires?
Sure.
Come on up.
Good evening Supervisor, members of the board. As you get to know when I'm here, I always need something. We've lost a couple of officers, as you just accepted Joey Stenta's resignation in the town of Poughkeepsie. I lost one of our female officers as well. So I obviously need to fill those spots. So what I'd like the board to do is approve the hiring of Adam Montfort. Adam, if you could stand up and just say hello to everybody. This is our...
Hey, Supervisor, members of the board. My name's Adam Alford. I currently am employed with the Town of Lloyd Police Department. Looking forward to working for y'all.
And then this is Nick Lent. Nick's one of our locals, has grown up in Rosendale here, so it's again, they passed their background and everything that I need to do, so as always, I'm asking for the board's support to hire.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to hire Nicholas Lent as police officer for no more than 20 hours a week at $17.45 per hour. And I'd like to say, I've known Nick most of his life. He's among, him and his siblings have often done some help around the house and do things around the town. And I know he's a hard worker, so welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'd like to second that and welcome.
Thank you.
Roll call, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Metzger.
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski.
Yes.
I haven't done that.
The old time.
Councilman McCartney. Yes. Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to hire Adam Montfort as police officer for no more than 20 hours a week at $17.45 per hour, and I'd also like to welcome you aboard.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I'd like to second that and second the welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Roll call, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilman McCartney.
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice to meet you.
And Chief Soul is also here because he'd like to discuss the budget.
Yep, just give me 1 second. I'll just
Sure.
get these guys settled in the office.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's that?
Turn all this piece.
Bunch of strangers.
This is easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I just wanted to open the door.
Sure.
They don't have any of their stuff here. I just wanted the opportunity to speak to the board a little bit about the police budget. Over the past several years, I've been doing what I can with mostly part-time staff. I have one full-time officer at the moment. We had, at one point, had 4, and it slowly dwindled down over the the past couple of years to one. In my budget, I've asked for about a $16,000 increase to cover that expense, plus just that's not only the expense of the full-time person, it's just obviously some things have gone up a little bit, so I've adjusted the budget for that. I don't need a car this year, I'm able to get by with the transportation that I have, but again, the scheduling purposes and with the, I've tried it and the supervisor and I have talked about it, with the influx of officers that come and go so much here, because as you're well aware of, we're a stepping stone for the young officers to move on, which I'm happy to train them. A lot of them move on to great police jobs, including the sheriffs, the state police, other city officers, and they do well. So I take honor in having the opportunity to train them. But because of that, it puts a burden on me in trying to fill those shifts, and sometimes I have a shift that's not filled. So I'm asking if I could replace one or two of the part-time shifts with a full-time officer in the afternoons, and probably that shift would be like a Sunday through Thursday, or something along those lines, working 3 at night till 11 in the morning. So again, not a huge increase. I don't want to beat the budget to death on that. I've been very good with my budget. You're well aware of that. I'll be entering my 8th year as a police chief here, and I take great pride in what we do in an organization. So I'm just asking for your support. I know there's implications with benefits and all of that, but again, I'd like your support with the budget on that. Any questions? Perfect.
In terms
Thank
of
you, Chris.
candidate, I'm not allowed to, I have a question, and if I'm not allowed to ask it, just let me know.
Yes.
You're looking from within or external?
I have to hire off a civil service,
Civil
so they
service.
would have to pass the test, or I could lateral them in from another agency if they're willing to come. So I have to follow civil service rules for that.
Okay, and in terms of officers that are already working here on this list?
That are available, no. There's a couple that are working full-time in other police departments, but no, not right now. The test will be given again in October. Sometime, I think the end of this month or first of May. So,
By full-time, do you mean 40 hours?
yes.
And what's like a typical overtime projection? Is that something to consider too? I mean,
No, because I can absorb that within what it costs my part-timers to go to court. My part-timers and a full-time officer, depending on their years of service, make about the same amount of money. So if I have a full-time officer, generally what they would need overtime for is if a case comes up that they have to stay over. But really, it's apples and apples in that, because it's the same thing, based on the hourly wage. They would go to the same amount of court, and you have to go to the same amount of training. It's just for scheduling purposes, it makes it so much easier, and I have consistency within the department to make sure things are followed up on. If you call in a complaint on Tuesday and you get Officer Smith, and then on Thursday you have something else and you have Officer Jones, sometimes just the flow of stuff makes it a little more difficult for me to manage.
And did I hear correctly, 3 to 11, Sunday through Thursday?
Yeah, something along those lines. That's what I'd probably, or maybe like Tuesday to Saturday, something. I haven't sat the exact schedule down. It's just a matter of picking that. I don't know if it's a cart before the horse. So, okay.
Do you have to do civil service when you go to 40, or what is the number of hours that you have to go to civil service with,
I can hire part-time off the civil service
anything
list.
under how many hours?
It
though?
doesn't matter. I can always hire off the
But
civil
the
service
ones that you are
list, but
required to go, at what level?
I don't know the answer
Okay.
to that, because I don't foresee ever hiring somebody
I'm just
for
curious.
less than, I don't know the answer.
Okay.
to that.
I know in other instances, it's more than half whatever the regular work is. So if you're 35, it's 17 and a half. If you're 40, it's 20. But I don't know for sure the day it was.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I've never, I wish I had a 30-hour full-time job. Yeah. Okay,
Thank Thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. So, Billy, we have your Pickle Festival site plan in front of us.
Yes.
Has anybody had a chance to look at it? The change,
Oh,
it's a little different than it's been in the past. Huh?
I don't have it.
Not your folder? When were these given out? Last month?
I mean,
We don't
I,
have that
I personally
pretty-
feel that it's ready to go.
Well, there are some changes.
I saw the changes.
No, there's other changes.
What?
uh,
Oh, since you
We're
submitted
working
this?
with UCAT to see whether UCAT can schedule a shuttle between Binny Water Kilns, Willow Kilns, and the rec center.
Okay.
It's not firm, but we don't know why we never thought of it before.
Wow.
That
That'd
would
be
give you
great.
more parking.
Yes,
Yeah,
but I mean, that's
That
pretty much
would-
the only other change. I did get a lot of the committee members' phone numbers, but they're not all filled in. I'm waiting for a contact from the Bruderhof, because Bruderhof is pretty much in charge of the parking lot, but I don't have that yet. But I do know that they accepted the vendors. The spaces are filling up quickly. We have adapted to Fire Marshal Kevin Hines' prescription that any open flame be 20 feet from the tent. So we condensed, the big tent's gonna be smaller. There'll be a big red line 20 feet from that tent, and no open flames there. The vendors put a pop-up between there and the food tent. But the 20-foot distance will be maintained.
Okay, are you planning on making any changes to this document?
Only if UCAT comes across, and I will fill in some phone numbers as I get them. But those are the only significant changes that I can see.
Well, we could do a conditional approval, so. Wanna do that?
yeah.
And I do have to meet with the rec commission next Wednesday
Yeah,
night to go
that's the
through
only thing,
details with them.
with the rec commission, was the rec commission already reviewed this?
They were going to get an amended on it,
Yeah.
so they have presentation.
So that's next Wednesday. And then we'd have to approve it on, first meeting in November otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I would be willing, based on what I saw of the proposal last month, I would be willing to do a conditional approval based on.
I think it's pretty clear that, I think, you know, we can. All right, I'll make a motion to, approve the, 2016 Rosendale Pickle Festival site plan, with the condition that,
Okay.
Chairman, Ligon, and it adds the phone numbers that are
Yes.
necessary and the UCAT information, and that the Recreation Commission signs off, the fire marshal signs off on it. I think that's it. Anybody want to second that?
Right?
Thank you, yes. I'll have to second it. Just taking notes.
Is there anything else that you guys?
No, it looks great.
Councilman Lee,
Yes.
Councilman Lansbury.
Yes.
Councilman Slafsky,
Yes?
Councilman McCarty.
Yep.
Supervisor Wong.
Yes.
Thank you, Commander Ligon.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself.
Who do we contact if we want to volunteer for the Pickle Fest?
Vicky, I think, Vicky and Sue are on that
Yeah.
list.
Vicky Coyne?
Vicky
Vicky and Sue
Coyne, Sue,
Constable.
Lori Giordano, who's like the administrator.
Oh, okay.
Already got a message from her mom.
She has become pretty much the new pickle wrangler.
Yeah, she's an old friend of mine.
Yeah.
So that email that I read off, does that reach her?
Yes, I mean, they have, if you respond to that email, it goes and someone other than me answers them.
Okay.
I did notice Sue and Vicky's names are listed on here. That's why I
Yes.
mentioned them.
Okay.
And Bill Brooks is every year stepping a little bit further away.
Retiring slowly.
Yes. Somewhat begrudgingly, but, yeah.
And just as an announcement that anyone interested should contact these
I'll
people from
bet
the
you
chamber.
picklefest.com or one of the chamber emails.
Okay, because it's always
Or
important.
just show up today and we'll press you
Yeah.
into service.
So again, that was
No, no
Rosendale
apology.
Chamber Marketing @gmail.com.
What is it?
So I just want to apologize. It is still in the folder. It was under under Billy's memo.
Oh.
So we do have the updated.
I think it should say like 2016.4 was the most recent one.
Yep, that's it. I like the .4.
Each time I do a draft, because I keep them.
Yeah,
If I don't
it's
number them, I
fine.
don't know which one I'm working on.
It's right, no, that's the way to do it.
Well, thank you one and all.
Thank you.
Thank
Bill.
you.
So the next three resolutions are in reference to the budget. Is this resolution one then, right?
Yeah.
Resolution 10, 2016-1, schedule a public hearing to consider tax cap override local law, whereas in the event of unforeseen cost overruns, which may be associated with meeting contractual obligations, minimum wage increases, bond payments, improving facilities, funding health insurance expenses, etc., is necessary to have a local law in effect in order to override a New York State mandated tax cap. Whereas the town of Rosendale is empowered to enact such local law pursuant to subdivision 5 of General Municipal Law 3C, which expressly authorizes the town board to override the tax levy limit by the adoption of such local law and subsequent passage of a resolution approved by a vote of 60% of the town board. And now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale hereby schedules a public hearing on November 2nd, 2016, immediately following the public hearing for the 2017 preliminary budget at the Rhonda Municipal Center at 1915 Lucas Avenue, Cottington, New York, 12419, to consider the advisability of adopting such local law. And be further resolved that a copy of the proposed local law shall be made available by the town clerk during business hours. And be it further resolved that the town clerk of the town of Rosendale is hereby directed and authorized to legally advertise the same.
I'll second.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarty,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. Resolution 10, 2016-2, scheduling a public hearing for the 2017 High Falls Water District budget. Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Rosendale hereby schedules a public hearing on November 2nd, 2016, at 7 p.m. at the Rhonda Municipal Center at 1915 Lucas Avenue, Cottington, New York, 12419, to consider the advisability of adopting the 2017 budget for the High Falls Water District. Be it further resolved that the town clerk of the town of Rosendale is hereby direct and authorized to legally advertise same.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarty,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
And Resolution 10, 2016-3, accepting the 2017 tentative budget as the 2017 preliminary budget and to set the public hearing on said budget. Whereas the town clerk has presented the 2017 tentative budget proposal to the town board for review, and whereas the town board has reviewed and discussed the tentative budget proposal for 2017 as concluded, it should be adopted as the town's preliminary budget 2017, and then the public hearing on said budget should be scheduled for November 2nd, 2016. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby adopts the proposed tentative budget as the preliminary budget for the town of Rosendale for 2017. Copies of the preliminary budget will be available in the town clerk's office for public review. The town board of the town of Rosendale hereby schedules a public hearing on November 2nd, 2016, immediately following the public hearing for the High Falls Water District at the Rondette Municipal Center, 1915 Lucas Avenue, Cottington, New York, 12419, to consider the advisability of adopting the 2017 budget. Be it further resolved that the town clerk of the town of Rosendale is hereby directed and authorized to legally advertise same.
I'll second that.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Well, just a question, so we can make. Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Councilman Kozlowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarty,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
The question is, do you want to make changes? We can still make changes to the, before it's a final budget, you still can make changes. But this will be the budget that we had will be the budget as presented, and then we can make changes at the meeting, right after the public hearing, and have comments and make changes.
Is that a yes for you?
Yes, I'm sorry. Didn't want it to be final, so I got that out. Halloween curfew. 10/2016-4. Halloween curfew, whereas the town of Rosendale desires to protect the health, safety and well-being of the citizens, now therefore be resolved that the curfew of 9 p.m. for youth under 18 years of age be strictly enforced and hereby in effect for Halloween Monday, October 31st, 2016.
I'll second that.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Voslowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lepari,
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. Resolution 2016-5, in support of a grant application for the Town of Rosendale Justice Court. Whereas the Town of Rosendale Justice Court has an opportunity to apply for the 2016-17 Justice Court Assistance Program, JCAP, which may provide up to $30,000 in funding without the need for a local match to assist the improvements at the Rondette Municipal Center. And whereas pursuant to the terms of said JCAP grant, a resolution of support is required from the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale has determined that the participation in JCAP grant application is desirable and is in the public interest, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale supports the submission of the JCAP grant application to New York State Unified Court System, and be further resolved that the Rosendale Town Clerk is authorized to prepare and transmit a certified copy of this resolution to same.
I'll second.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Voslowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lepari,
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes.
And just want to clarify, Mandy, you said it's fuchsia pink that we're getting?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yep, then we think.
Not,
I tried.
I didn't let Jill paint it purple, so I'm not going to paint pink. Change order for number 3 for Stillwater Pond treatment plant. Resolution 10, 2016, is that 6? Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale entered into an agreement with Barton LaJudas as the engineers and Whalen Electric as a contractor for the Still Pond Water Treatment Plant Improvement Project, Contract 3C, electrical construction. And whereas Barton LaJudas has made recommendations for change order number 3 for Contract 3C to address the addition of some pump motor starters. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale authorizes the supervisor to sign the corrected change order number 3 for the sump pump motor starters.
I'll second that.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Voslowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lepari,
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. 10, 2016-7, Still Pond Water Treatment Plant Change Order number 4 for Contract 3C. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale entered into an agreement with Barton LaJudas as the engineers and Whalen Electric as a contractor for the Still Pond Water Treatment Plant Improvement Project, Contract 3C, electrical construction. And whereas Barton LaJudas had made recommendation for change order number 4 for the Contract 3C to extend the completion date due to delays in the testing and approval of the pressurized filtration units. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale authorizes the supervisor to sign the corrected change order number 4 for the extension of the completion date.
I'll second.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Voslowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lepari,
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh.
Yes. And, resolution 10, 2016-8 is for winterizing the pool. We have one bid here, the other two that we asked for did not get us things in timely fashion, we didn't have anything back from them, they were too busy, whatever. So we ended up with one bid, and actually it's probably good, because it's the people that built the pool. And it'll help, and Terry and Sean can kind of tag along and see how they're doing everything.
Yes.
Contract for winterizing pool, whereas the town has reached out to 3 companies requesting quotes for pool winterization, and whereas one quote was received for this, mainline commercial pools at 441 Pihilly Drive, King Crucia, Pennsylvania, 19406, and where the Rosendale pool must be winterized for the season with no further delay. Now therefore be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Rosendale authorizes the supervisor to sign contract to mainline commercial pools for $5,500 for pool winterization, which is attached here to the Main Park Bureau.
Second?
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Slafsky,
Yes.
Councilwoman McBride,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes.
I have another
I have
executive
one other
report.
thing that I'm adding, the last
Sorry,
minute.
jumped on you.
We have a TBS,
Could've been-
we've been back and forth, and at the last minute, got this printed, but there's still one other change, so I'm going to make it a conditional approval. And that's to,
This was allowing them to work remotely.
yeah, it's for remotely working, and also to add the Jace, which is an $8,900 improvement. That's basically replacing this equipment, and for $8,900. So the contract would be to pay 3 installments with that, the service agreement, which reduces our costs for dealing with them. And then the payment for the Jace would be split up into 3 payments. So that's what you see.
When does it goes up in the second year and it goes down?
Because it's an interest payment that's added on. So the interest is higher this first year we have no interest because we're making the first payment.
Oh, right.
Then the
Oh, right.
second one goes up because you're paying on a bigger nut, you know?
And then, right.
Then the
and
third
then
one
it
goes down.
Right,
So,
gotcha.
just the only thing I want to clarify is that those numbers include the, interest and are not plus interest,
Right.
okay? So I'd like to make a motion to approve the TBS contract, conditional on the clarification that the, interest is included in those payments, and that Town of Marbletown also approves this, because obviously this is a shared service.
Second that?
What is TBS?
They are a company, they're a maintenance service that we have a couple of things in the facility that need a service agreement. There's a air
Heating and
exchange.
cooling and
There's an
all
air
that.
exchange system in the building that keeps the air fresh in the building, and that's something that they have to take care of.
Stands for technical building services.
Right.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Slafsky,
Yes.
Councilwoman McBride,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes.
And if I understand it correctly, the Jace is like smart building
It's
module?
Yeah, it's like a computer,
Right.
Yeah.
and they are able to remotely do
Remotely, yeah.
some stuff. Actually, we had something the other day where something was on and it wouldn't go off, and they were able to remotely turn it
Right.
off.
Yeah,
We
that's
could
gonna
not
be
get it to turn off.
Yeah.
Good.
So they were able to do
Sure.
that, and it was less money for them to do that remotely than
Makes sense.
send
Oh,
it.
yeah,
So,
yeah, there's things happen in storms too.
yeah,
Sorry.
And it's, page 11 has a little bit of a description. of
Yeah,
of
I read it a couple months ago.
I wish
Same.
a mechanic could do that with my car.
someday. And I guess, it's been due to be replaced for a while, but,
Now
we
we're
were
getting
kind
a
of
steady
getting
yard,
going.
which
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah, and we kind of put it off because we were waiting till the shared services and, school wasn't gonna invest, so we haven't had that done. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of a particular person.